Okay, let's dive into this one. The title alone tells you it's going to be messy. My brother refused to pay $32,000 for his home renovation, so That ellipsis leaves a lot to the imagination, doesn't it? But the original Reddit post title gets straight to the point. AITA for putting a lien on my brother's house and refusing to remove it until he pays me. Right off the bat, you know this isn't just a simple disagreement. We're talking legal action, family drama, and a whole lot of money. $32,000 is not pocket change, especially when it's between brothers. So how did it get to this point? Let's unpack this story because it's a wild ride involving family discounts, broken promises, and some pretty cold, hard business decisions. Our storyteller, let's call him Op, runs a house renovation business. He's a professional, he knows his stuff, and like any smart business owner, he understands the importance of contracts. He makes it clear right from the start. Even when he's doing work for family and friends, even when he's giving them a sweet deal, a contract gets signed. No exceptions. This isn't about mistrust, he implies, it's just good business practice. It protects everyone involved. And honestly, as we'll see, having that contract was probably the smartest move he made in this whole situation. So picture this, Op's brother comes to him with a request. His family is growing, the nephews are getting bigger, and they need their own space. Every parent knows that feeling, right? The walls start closing in, kids need privacy, and suddenly that unfinished basement looks like prime real estate. The brother asks Op for help. Not just a little help, mind you. He wants the works. Finish the basement, build a couple of new bedrooms down there, add a full washroom, not just a powder room, a proper washroom put in a kitchenette, and wire up a whole new family room area. This isn't just slapping up some drywall and calling it a day. This is a major renovation project. Op, being a professional, does what professionals do. He scopes out the job, calculates the cost for materials, figures out the labor involved, and puts together a quote. He tells his brother the price tag. $32,000. Now hold on, because Op immediately points out this was not the market rate, not even close. He says this was a sizable discount, a real family and friends special. To put it in perspective, he mentions that just installing that new bathroom, which wasn't even roughed in yet, meaning all the basic plumbing and electrical wasn't there, would normally cost any other client around $15,000. 15 grand for the bathroom alone, so getting the entire basement suite, multiple rooms, kitchenette, family room, and the bathroom done for $32,000, that's a steal. An absolute bargain. The brother agrees to the price. The contract is signed. Everything seems above board, right? Op probably thinks, okay, helping out my brother, giving him a great deal, he gets the space his family needs, I make a little something, everyone's happy. It sounds like a win-win. Op schedules the work during his business's downtime, which is considerate. It means he's not bumping paying clients to fit his brother in, but let's be real, downtime doesn't mean free time. It's time he and his crew could be resting, doing admin, or lining up future jobs. And more importantly, Op has to front the costs. He has to buy all the materials, the lumber, the drywall, the plumbing fixtures, the wiring, the paint, everything. And he has to pay his crew. His guys don't work for free just because it's the boss's brother's house. They have bills to pay, families to feed. So Op is laying out significant cash, trusting that his brother will honor the contract and pay up the agreed $32,000. The work gets done, the basement is transformed. The nephews probably love their new rooms. The brother and his wife have a whole new functional living space downstairs, maybe even potential rental income with that kitchenette and bathroom. It's a massive upgrade to their home. Op and his crew pack up their tools, clean up the site, and Op presumably sends his brother the invoice, expecting a check. And then nothing, silence. Weeks turn into months. Op asks about the payment, and the excuses start rolling in. We don't know the exact excuses, Op doesn't detail them in the post, but you can imagine the kind of things people say when they owe money they don't want to pay. Oh, waiting on a bonus. Things are tight this month. Can I pay you next week? Just need to move some money around. Always something, always later, but later never seems to arrive. This goes on for 2 years. Let that sink in. 2 full years. For 2 years, Op is out $32,000. That's not just the profit margin. That includes the hard costs he paid for materials and the wages he paid to his crew. He carried that debt, that hole in his business finances, for 24 months, all while his brother was living in and enjoying the fully renovated basement. Op mentions he did the work during downtime, so he didn't technically lose out on other paying jobs during that specific period, but he absolutely lost out on the $32,000 he was owed. He got shafted, plain and simple, by his own brother. Imagine the frustration. Imagine the awkward family gatherings. Imagine seeing your brother knowing he owes you a massive amount of money, money you worked for, money you paid out of your own pocket, and he's just not paying. The Reddit comments picked up on this dynamic, speculating that maybe the brother is just used to getting his way. Maybe he even told his wife the work was free or heavily discounted, leading to embarrassment when the bill came due. Some commenters even wondered if this was a pattern, if the brother had a history of acting entitled or dodging financial responsibilities. We don't know for sure, but the behavior certainly suggests a serious lack of respect and integrity. The fact that Op's parents, the brother's wife, and her parents were reportedly unhappy later on hints at a wider family awareness, or perhaps embarrassment about the brother's actions. After 2 years of excuses and getting nowhere, Op decides he's had enough. He's a reasonable guy, he gave his brother plenty of time, more time than any regular client would ever get. But patience has its limits, especially when tens of thousands of dollars are on the line. He needs to protect his business and his own finances. So he takes a step that's perfectly legal and common in the construction industry when a client refuses to pay. He puts a construction lien, also known as a mechanic's lien, on his brother's house. Now, what does a lien actually do? It's basically a legal claim against a property for an unpaid debt related to work done on that property. It gets registered against the house title. It doesn't force the homeowner out immediately. It doesn't mean the bailiffs are coming tomorrow. Op even says he wasn't going to make his brother homeless, but what it does do is secure the debt. It serves as a public record that money is owed. And crucially, it usually has to be paid off before the property can be sold or refinanced with a clear title. As commenters on Reddit pointed out, title insurance companies and mortgage lenders get very nervous about liens. They want assurance that the property they're insuring or lending against is free of outstanding claims. A lien is a massive red flag. So Op files the lien. It's a formal legal step. Does the brother suddenly see the light and pay up? Nope. According to Op, his brother didn't care. Maybe he didn't understand the full implications of a lien. Maybe he thought Op was bluffing, that he wouldn't really enforce it when push came to shove because, family. Or maybe he just figured he wasn't planning on selling the house anytime soon, so what did it matter? Let the lien sit there, he'd deal with it later. Or maybe, as some Redditors suspected, he thought he could somehow get away with it, sell the house down the line, and Op would just forget about the $30,000 Whatever the reason, the brother ignores the lien. Life goes on, the renovated basement gets used. The debt remains unpaid. Another 2 years pass. Yes, you read that right. We are now 4 years after the renovation work was completed. 4 years Op has been waiting for his $32,000. Then the situation changes dramatically. The brother gets a new job. Great news for him, right? But the job requires him to move. He needs to relocate, which means he needs to buy a new house in a new place. And to finance that new house, he needs to sell his current house, the one with the beautifully renovated basement, and the one with Op's construction lien attached to the title. Suddenly, that lien that the brother didn't care about for 2 years becomes a very, very big problem. He puts the house on the market, maybe gets an offer, and starts the selling process. And then, bam, the title search happens. The lien pops up. The buyers, their lawyers, the mortgage lender, the title insurance company, they all see it. $32,000 owed to his own brother's renovation company. As the Reddit comments highlighted, this is exactly what liens are designed for. They ensure that contractors get paid from the proceeds when the property changes hands. It also makes potential buyers wary. If the seller stiffed his own brother on a renovation bill, what other skeletons might be hiding in the closet? Is this seller trustworthy? It complicates the sale immensely. The brother realizes he can't sell the house. He can't close the deal. He can't get the money he needs to buy his new house and move for his new job. That lien, the one he ignored, is now a massive roadblock standing directly in the way of his future plans. So what does he do? He finally calls Op. But is it an apologetic call? Is it a "hey bro, I messed up, how can we sort this out" call? Oh no. According to Op, the brother calls him up demanding that Op remove the lien. Just like that, remove it. And the justification, the brother promises he'll pay Op back as soon as the house sells. Just take the lien off, let the sale go through, and I swear you'll get your money from the proceeds. Think about that for a second. After 4 years of non-payment, after 2 years of ignoring a legal lien, after countless excuses, the brother expects Op to just trust him now. To remove the only security Op has for getting paid based on yet another promise. A promise to pay after the leverage is gone. Many Redditors thought this was proof the brother never intended to pay and was hoping to pocket all the sale money and ghost Op again. Op, having been burned badly already and having waited patiently, perhaps too patiently for 4 years, is having none of it. His response is blunt, direct, and instantly became iconic in the Reddit thread. He tells his brother, quote, "Fuck you, pay me." End of discussion. No negotiation, no more promises, no more waiting. The time for trust was long gone. This was pure business now, stripped bare of any family niceties. Pay the debt you owe, the debt secured by a legal lien, and then, only then, will the lien be removed. It's a harsh line, maybe shocking to hear between brothers, but given the history, completely understandable. Op had been pushed too far. As one commenter shared, they knew someone with a literal "fuck you, pay me" tattoo, a permanent reminder of the importance of getting compensated for your work. Op didn't need a tattoo. He had a $30,000 invoice and a legal lien. The brother, predictably, doesn't react well to this ultimatum. The pressure is immense. His job, his move, his new house, it all hinges on getting this lien removed, which hinges on paying Op. What does he do next? He escalates. He involves their parents. Op is careful to point out in the post, "I reminded him that he involved them, not me." This is a crucial detail. The brother tried to use the parents to pressure Op, not the other way around. So mom and dad call Op. They're probably caught in the middle, hearing frantic stories from the brother, wanting to smooth things over. They offer to pay Op the $32,000 that the brother owes. Just pay it, get the lien removed, let the sale go through, end the drama. It sounds like a simple solution, right? Parents bail out the irresponsible son. But Op is thinking ahead. He knows his brother. If the parents just pay it off, will the brother ever learn his lesson? Will he ever actually take responsibility? And more importantly, will the brother ever pay the parents back? Op suspects not, so he agrees to accept the money from the parents, but with some very specific, very firm conditions. He tells his parents, okay, you can pay me, but this needs to be treated as a formal loan from you to my brother, and he has to agree to pay you back. Condition 1, Condition 2. If he doesn't pay you back, then any amount he still owes you at the time of your passing, God forbid, must come directly out of his share of any inheritance, not the total inheritance, just his portion. Condition 3. Interest starts accruing on this loan from the very day the parents pay Op, not when the brother feels like paying, but immediately. These conditions are brilliant in a way. They ensure Op gets paid, which is his primary goal. They put the onus back on the brother to repay the debt, this time to their parents, and the inheritance clause, that's the real kicker. It creates a long-term consequence for the brother if he defaults again. It protects the parents' money and ensures fairness in the future distribution of any family assets. Op isn't just trying to get his money. He's trying to install some accountability, some consequences for his brother's actions, using the only leverage he has left, the family structure itself. And the parents, they agree. They recognize the fairness in Op's conditions. They probably know their other son well enough to realize these safeguards might be necessary. This agreement, however, sends the brother into another rage. He calls Op again, this time screaming at him. How dare Op involve their parents' money? How dare Op bring the inheritance into this? He's furious that his potential future inheritance is now tied to his past bad behavior. But Op calmly reminds him once again, you involved them, not me. You ran to mommy and daddy hoping they'd pressure me, and now you don't like the terms they agreed to. That's on you, buddy. You created this mess. Faced with the parents' agreement to Op's terms and the very real threat to his inheritance if he didn't pay them back, the brother finally realizes he's cornered. There are no more excuses, no more delays, no more manipulating his way out of it. The only way to get the lien removed, sell the house, and secure his new job and future is to pay the original debt. So what does he do? He finally takes out a line of credit against the house he's trying to sell, borrowing money to pay back the money he should have paid 4 years ago. And he pays Op. Not just the $32,000 principal, but interest too. Op adds, I'm a reasonable man, implying the interest wasn't punitive, just fair compensation for the 4-year delay and the cost of carrying that debt. The payment clears. Op, true to his word, removes the construction lien. The path is finally clear for the brother to sell his house. Now here comes the final twist, the part that adds a layer of delicious irony to the whole saga. The house sells, and it doesn't just sell, it sells over the asking price. Why? Op states it clearly. The finished basement suite made a huge difference on what he got. The very renovation that the brother refused to pay for, the renovation that caused 4 years of conflict and forced Op to take legal action, ended up significantly increasing the value of the house and putting a substantial profit directly into the brother's pocket. Think about that. The brother got the renovation done at a massive discount. He got 4 years of interest-free financing on it until the very end. He caused immense stress and financial strain for Op. And in the end, he walks away with a profit largely generated by that renovation. He essentially got Op to fund an investment that paid off handsomely for him. Some commenters pointed this out. The brother basically got a construction loan from Op, defaulted on it for years, and still came out ahead financially. So is everyone happy now? Is it all water under the bridge? Not a chance. Op reports that his brother is still pissed at him. Still angry that Op put the lien on the house, that Op forced him to pay, that Op involved the parents and the inheritance. There's no gratitude for the discount, no apology for the 4 years of hassle, no acknowledgement that Op's work directly led to his financial gain on the house sale. Just lingering resentment. This reaction seems to confirm the suspicions of many Redditors that the brother felt entitled and likely never intended to pay in the first place. He's not mad about the debt. He's mad he got caught and had to face consequences. Op, meanwhile, feels entirely justified. He concludes, I did everything legal and by the books. He had a contract. He performed the work. He waited patiently. He used a standard legal remedy when payment wasn't made. He enforced the lien only when forced to. He was firm but ultimately reasonable, charging interest, accepting payment. He protected his business. This story really struck a chord on Reddit, with most people firmly siding with Op. The consensus was clear, NTA not the asshole. People emphasized that mixing business and family is risky, precisely because situations like this can arise. Contracts, as Op wisely used, are essential not as a sign of distrust, but as a sign of mutual respect and a way to clarify expectations and provide recourse if things go wrong. The "fuck you, pay me" line, while harsh, was seen as a necessary assertion of boundaries after years of being taken advantage of. The story serves as a potent reminder of several things. First, the importance of clear agreements and contracts, especially when money is involved, even with loved ones. Second, the potential pitfalls of doing business with family. It can work, but it requires strong boundaries and mutual respect, which were clearly lacking from the brothers' side here. Third, sometimes you have to make difficult, unpopular decisions to protect yourself and your livelihood, even if it causes conflict within the family. Op wasn't trying to be malicious. He was trying to get paid for services rendered, a fundamental principle of any business transaction. The fact that the brother ended up profiting from the renovation just adds that final layer of complexity. Does it make Op's actions less justified? Absolutely not. If anything, it highlights the brother's short-sightedness and entitlement. He could have paid the discounted $32,000 years ago, avoided all the drama, and still made a hefty profit on the sale. Instead, he chose conflict, damaged his relationship with his brother and likely his parents, and ended up paying interest anyway, all while proving Op's initial caution was entirely warranted. He got the financial benefit in the end, but the cost to his relationships and reputation was likely far higher. And Op, he got his money finally, and the satisfaction of knowing he stood his ground and did things the right way, even when it was incredibly difficult. It's a messy situation, but a clear lesson in boundaries, business, and the unfortunate reality that sometimes, even with family, you just have to say, "Pay me."